Climbing as a game mechanic is all the rage these days as walls become scalable, mountains become hikable, and Little Jon is full of immense dread. Our desire to climb to the top of a thing and look out across a beautiful horizon has made it so developers cram climbing into every crevice they can. But climbing is no laughing matter. Although sometimes it is. Oh! So today on Blurbs, let's look at the 3 types of climbing in video games. Realistic climbing, funny climbing, and casual climbing. The realistic subset of climbing mechanics often takes place in games solely based around the act of climbing. Cairn and Jusant are 2 such games that focus on the beauty and the intensity created by the trek up a mountain. Jusant is the less realistic of the 2, giving you stamina and arm control, but also easily marking out handholds and creating a simple and intuitive climbing system. While the game holds your hand in some places, it also knows when to let go. Don't you do it. Giving you an engaging stamina system, a piton management mechanic, and ropes that you need to use to scale walls. It does just enough with real climbing equipment to make the game feel grounded in some sort of reality. But Cairn is about as realistic as a climbing game can get, forcing you to contend with handholds, footholds, stamina routes, diets, and a Walgreens gift card I looted off of this course.
Oh, it's only got $5 on it.
Cairn is a game about the stress of a mountain, the overwhelming fear that sets in when everything presses down on you. It's about planning, execution, and fighting exhaustion. It's realistic in all the best manners, and it's a climbing experience unlike any other. Funny climbing games usually sit between realistic and casual, as their mechanics aren't as tight and refined as something like Cairn's, but they also ramp up the difficulty so that you fall to your death a lot, and that's hilarious. A difficult game about climbing is one of the hardest and most frustrating experiences on the market. Your hands have to be tediously maneuvered as you attempt to grab and swing your way to the top of a mountain. Surfaces are slippery, your body is out of control, and everything is hilariously frustrating as you wiggle your way to the top. I think one area in which a difficult game about climbing is actually a good climbing game is with its surfaces and its handholds. The player has to pay intense attention to the texture of each wall and the grip they have on it, ensuring that they don't lose control and slip. But this next game is truly peak. Hey, do you want to say something funny there instead? Everything in this game is designed to create hilarious interactions. Bridges break under too much weight, proximity chat makes falling friends' voices obscure as they careen down the mountain, and items have a various number of unknown effects that create incredibly funny situations. The way players are animated, the way they sound, and the way the world reacts to them is fantastic, but the game isn't just good because of its hilarity. The execution of the co-op climbing mechanics is excellent as you help your friends up the mountain, working together at all times to ensure your summit. It's this mix of Faudian-like mechanics and co-op fun that make the trip feel worth the time. The casual subset of climbing mechanics is where almost every climbing game you can think of fits in. Uncharted, Horizon Forbidden West, Jedi Fallen Order, etc., and boring. I'm just gonna head out. But there is a subset of casual climbing that is fun, and that's when the climbing is free to be done on any surface and requires only stamina management. Games like Breath of the Wild, A Short Hike, and Grow Home. I talk about Breath of the Wild all the time, so I'll leave that one up to you guys to think of something cool I'd say. As for A Short Hike, climbing up the mountain is done with its feather system, meaning that over time you can buff your climbing ability by getting more feathers, climbing around any of the pixelated surfaces in the environment and helping yourself make your way to the top of the mountain. Since the core aim of the game is to get to the peak of this island, climbing is always at the top of your mind, and thus collecting feathers and traveling around the world is a rewarding joy. As for Grow Home, it's a similar system, albeit without the stamina, focusing more on the joy of climbing and the freedom of creating your own paths. In a lot of ways, it feels more like a platformer than it does truly like a climbing game, but making your way up the vine is always a joy the same. There are also a lot of other casual climbing experiences that totally change up the loop with how they allow you to utilize their climbing. Shadow of the Colossus lets you climb but only on bosses, Death Stranding allows you to climb when you have the right equipment, and Mirror's Edge lets you bound off buildings, scaling their walls in a second. So those were the 3 types of climbing mechanics in video games. As climbing becomes more and more popular, I'm sure we're going to see many different takes on this incredible genre. Climbing is still kind of a lesser explored mechanic. It's only when we see games like Cairn and Peak that we realize truly how much more there is to do with this traversal system that we still have yet to see. So I hope indie developers keep iterating and exploring new ways to add climbing to video games. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.